to Nichol and Mallon, who has very graciously agreed to officially open the show. Thank you, Nichola. But before we get maybe to the official bit, I would like to thank a few people. First of all, yourselves on coming out on such a miserable night. We've had a great turnout. Thank you for coming. And our board also, and our volunteers, I would like to mention especially. They've kept the engine room going for 17 years now, and we really couldn't exist without them. They keep the gallery open month by month as volunteers, and I especially want to thank them. It's simply a brilliant exhibition. I have worked with both Sam and Leslie over the past 16 years, and I just realised today that their collaboration started in 1996, and that was the year actually that the Engine Room and the East Belfast Arts Collective was formed. So we go back a long, long way. In fact, Leslie goes back even further in my lifetime.
That's because he's older.
I heard that and I'm not. I knew it, but I'm not.
In that he taught my three older sons in Bangor.
And they were good artists, but
yeah. But there's Leslie thinking he's a nice young artist down there, and my oldest son's well into his 40s now, so he's back a long way. But the show itself, the poetry from Sam, and the exhibition from Leslie, I have often said to people, and they don't really fully understand, and I don't think they believe me, but art, even visual art, is a language. And while the surface of the paintings, the look of the paintings, is very, very beautiful, they're wonderful paintings, for me, it's more what they're saying. And when you start to look at them, start to read the titles, start to realise what's in the paintings, it's not just surface beauty. There's a great power speaking to you if you care to look and to listen to what's being said. I would like, I've been warned to keep this very brief, so that's as far as I intend to go, but I would like to call Leslie, and maybe Leslie will. Just one other thing before I go. Niall and James Street South, this is the first time we've had a collaboration. Yeah, okay. And Joanne. This is the first time we've had a collaboration with them, and I would like to thank them. It's been very, very successful, and I hope that we can do more in the future. Thank you, Niall.
Well, I will be quick, as Cliff said. There are a number of people I want to thank, and that is firstly the Lord Mayor and her colleagues for turning up tonight, because without an audience, and you now are the second group of people, without an audience this is pointless. And considering that the BBC issued a weather warning not to travel tonight, it's very, very kind of you to turn up. It makes it worthwhile to see all the people come in and to hear the banter and the laughter and the comments about the paintings.
No.
The other thing I would like to say is, Cliff has already said it, it's the lovely people of James Street South, and there are a number of them I can see now. There's Jeff and his partner, and Joanne, and Brian, chef down at the back, has done the lovely canapes, and the girls and the guys gone now who are serving the drink. James Street South have been more than kind to me, because I've treated their 3 restaurants like an office whenever I've brought paintings and drawings and people in to try and organise projects. And never once have I been told off by taking their seating away, or their tables away, by setting paintings there. And I would like to thank them as well for tonight. But mostly, it is the audience who turn up in such awful weather. Thank you for that. And that's really it. Enjoy the rest of it.
Maybe Sam, would you say a few words?
I was not warned at all about this, so I'm total surprise. No, it's been a long, torturous road, this collaboration with Leslie, but I won't say that because it hasn't been already. It's been a very interesting kind of journey. We've both been pursuing an idea, sometimes separately, sometimes together, and that idea has been really about the importance of humanity. And I think that's all I want to say, because that is, in this, we have lived through 40 years, I think, of mayhem and violence. And we've come out, I think we've come out the other side, I hope so. But that 40 years is in some way condensed into these paintings and into these poems. So I hope you kind of look at it, look at them, and kind of sense something of the content that's in them. Thank you.
At last we come to the good bit. Nichola, if you would like to step up and say what you want unofficially first.
Sure. I'm honoured. I was really honoured to receive this invitation and to be standing before you tonight. Sometimes a painting or a poem just captures you, and all your senses merge into one, and everything around you disappears. And it strikes a chord, something, it's a sound innately in you. And so imagine when a powerful painting, powerful poem comes together, and we don't need to imagine because we're surrounded by it tonight. And I want to not say my words, but I want to quote what I believe is an amalgamation of words from Sam and Leslie. And it was a description of this work. And it says that it articulates a belief in the attainability of a better future, one that lies trembling on the cusp of its potential, one that can be captured, but only if we accept responsibility, only if we can grow and develop a still embryonic ambition to be one, only if we can make our own the ambition to be one in diversity. If I had read those words 6 months ago, before I became Lord Mayor, I would have needed persuaded that we were even close to the cusp, never mind trembling on it. But since becoming Lord Mayor, and that's in such a short space of time, because it's only 6 months, I don't need persuaded at all. And I don't need persuaded because of the people that I meet. And since becoming Lord Mayor, I have seen the dark side of our city. I have seen our citizens who are pretty much forgotten. People that we either don't see or we choose not to see or understand as we step over them in Castle Street. But I have also seen the most beautiful and enlightened side of our city. I have seen people, quiet peacemakers, unsung heroes, and in my book that's what Sam and Leslie are. They're quiet peacemakers. And these people are of all ages and all abilities, and from all different backgrounds and countries, but they have one thing in common. They are selfless, and they are compassionate, and they care for people. They don't automatically put people into silos or labels. They see people as human beings, and they react to them as human beings. So, Belfast, I can tell you, is a caring and compassionate city. We just need to speak up more. But with my hand on my heart, I can honestly tell you that I really do look to our future with confidence. And with people like Leslie and Sam and people in this room, the future will be better, and we will have that ambition to be one in our diversity. So I open this exhibition, I suppose, and I just say thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and to be among such wonderful artwork. So thank you.
Lord Mayor, First Citizen and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends from this very diverse society on this very difficult wet evening. It's very hard to follow that, and I'm here as a mere substitute. I know many of you arrived here hoping that Anita Robinson, broadcaster and columnist, would be here, but sadly she can't be here, so I've agreed to do the introductions and so that she won't feel that she's letting you down. But I know that she'll be sorry to have missed this wonderful gathering. This is about a collaboration, and the collaboration extends in all sorts of ways. So poetry is written and sometimes it's read, but when it's given a voice, it needs to be given a voice from the place that it comes from. And this Belfast trilogy, based upon the paintings that are around the suffering and the difficulties and the complex humanity that is the human condition that we live in, these are poems that are of our place. And so the Belfast trilogy will start with the great collaboration between the Reverend John Dunlop, who, whether or not he agreed, certainly became a reader for this occasion. And I know that when he agreed to do this, he and Sam set off to do a recording, and they were found lost in the field, and there's still a County Down farmer looking for them because they damaged the field greatly, I'm told. But I'm just going to introduce in turn the Belfast trilogy, read as they will. The first one, Made in Belfast, is going to be read by the Reverend John Dunlop, whose contribution to this society is so long established that it's wonderful to have him present here tonight. John.
Well, it's a great honour to be asked to read this poem. I admire Sam that he would take a lot of time to write a poem and then hand it to somebody like me to read it. And I might destroy it. At least I would read it. Made in Belfast by Stella Burnside. Black and blue, cat-like, the shale rubs and shifts. A bird stirs and crops progeny. A fox trots daintily among the tin cans. Elongated post-industrial shadows tremble, if only a little. Plastic bags scat about in the wind. A rat hurries along the wasteland run. Impervious to gales blowing across the water, two cloud-topped towers stand over the people of Belfast. Here, one is moved to raise his eyes. There, another averts his gaze. Graceful, these are not. Grace is not a word in this lexicon. They are plain and straight, engineered and irrevocable as rock, ignorant of time's corrosive cancer, bruised by fistfuls of wind-blasted ice hurled down from dark Cave Hill. Not noticing the other's calves grown shank-thin, never itching to toe-tap, never dreaming to dance in moonlight. No, no, no. With feet booted and planted in concrete, only half sustained by thin soup, lukewarmed in Belfast Loch. There was a frost last night. Silence falls The shale-strewn shoreline hardens, a chill settles. Still, endurance is in their natures, begat and birthed with them. Endurance is the truth of us.
Thank you very much, John. I'd now like to introduce the next poem, which is Lagan. And the readers are yet another great collaboration. Mary Darcy, who is better known for her French language, but tonight she's going to speak to you in the Irish language, and John Burnside.
A Lagan song.
A Lagan a gra, mar a bhí tú riamh.
My Lagan, my love, you always wear the stone in my boot, the burr on my sleeve, the cheese to my chalk, my bow and my arrow, my sling and my shot, my sword and my shield, the gleam in my eye, the child in my womb, the hope in my heart.
A Lagan a gra, mar a zóildit go fóil.
My Lagan, my love, you know that you are the child of the manger, the thud in my blood, the ice in my heart, the love that's caught in the cage of the weir, the knock on the door, the crack in my cup, flowing down to the sea through bog and barbed wire.
A Lagan a gra, mar a bhés tú go jo.
My Lagan, my love, you ever will be the warmth in my toast, the lace in my shoe, the wind in my sail, my sour and my sweet, my hare and my hound, the bone of my marrow, the pea in my pod, the song in my heart, the sun on my snow.
Thank you very much. From the great strength of industrial Belfast and those towering cranes to the catalogue of love and meaning, to the final poem, Belfast Rose, which will finish us on a more profound and sad tale. I'm delighted to introduce Zoe Reid, who was a colleague and great help to Sam in the Verbal Arts Centre in Derry, and you will find that she is as fond of the beauty of poetry as all of you are tonight. So to finish off, and thank you to John and to John and to Mary Darcy and to Zoe Reid.
Thank you, Stella. I love this poem and I hope that you will too. Belfast Rose. Down behind the City Hall, Belfast Rose slides into the snow. Snowflakes fall on her dark hair. Somewhere bells ring on the midnight air. See the crimson petals grow. Two shadows rise and flit and fall. Heave her body up and over the wall. Pause until they hear it land. The dullest thud. They float on air, retiring to the land of harp and hand. We are left with this shell, and garlands for her bare alabaster cheek and breast. Garlands of cherry red wreathe her head. Such acts of love we once thought rare, and now she is dead, dead, dead. The sound of her voice, the laughter, the coolness of her hand, her breath, all gone. She is gone, gone, gone.
very much to all our readers, and just there are copies of the poems for sale if any of you wish to take them.